So with that all out of the way, the honorable mentions, we're going to move into the main controversies, the top controversies in Star Wars. And we're going to start off with the big one from The Phantom Menace. It's what changed everything and made people say, George Lucas raped my childhood. And that is midichlorians. So midichlorians were microscopic, intelligent life forms that originated from the foundation of life in the center of the galaxy. And ultimately it resided within the cells of all living organisms, as said by Qui-Gon Jinn. Therefore, it forms a symbiotic relationship with their hosts. Now, the Force spoke through midichlorians, and it allows certain beings to use the Force if they were sensitive enough to use its powers. And in order to gauge an individual's potential in the Force, blood tests were used to estimate the number of midichlorians within the subject's cells. Now, Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, possessed the highest known count in galactic history of over 20,000 midichlorians, surpassing the potential of all the Jedi, including Yoda. So we're going to talk about what the hell midichlorians are, what its biology is, and why the fuck this is a thing now. When you first heard about midichlorians, we were kids, of course, but now that you think about it, like how do you feel about midichlorians?
Stupid. One word, stupid. So for me, it's
and that's the end of the podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.
So one of the problems that I have with it is throughout the originals, like the Force, and I know Legends aren't canon anymore, but they were kind of considered canon, like in earlier times. Like Lucas even got behind some of them and like basically said, yes, this is what I envisioned. I think he even helped publish some comic books and books as well. So yeah. He had his clear vision that he wanted, and Legends members were saying yes. And that was all before the prequels. Part of the problem that I have with them is just like in those Legends, in the originals, the Force is just something that you're either you have it or you don't. It's not. You have these little things in your blood cells that like make you be able to do this. It was just like, I don't want to say magic, but it was just the Force is always around you. It's just more so, can you interact with it? I don't like that they made it something where all of a sudden now you have to have something special and then now you can interact with it. Are you telling me I can go get a blood transfusion and then now I'm Force sensitive?
Oh, yeah.
That's stupid. Smart. That's really stupid because midichlorians also, like the whole thing in Legends was it is hard to clone a Force user. If they're blood-based, you can just kind of do this. And then next thing you know, like in episode 10, mark my words, if we're going to go back to midichlorians, you're going to have the old Dragon Ball Z thing, and it's going to be, he has over 9,000. But like, yeah.
Dude, you're absolutely right. Trying to make the Force make sense really wasn't necessary. I think that's why people really loved the Force to begin with, is because it didn't make sense. And I think one way to look at midichlorians is that, it's almost like looking at religion, for example. Everyone can believe in a god, but there's different ways to follow it. So the way I accept midichlorians is that back in the prequel days, people like Qui-Gon Jinn, they thought their religion of the Force was their theory on midichlorians. It doesn't have to be true, but then back in like the original trilogy days, it's on this idea that it was just this cosmic binding energy field, and it wasn't these little microscopic beings, which always confuse me. Are midichlorians? Is it a species? That's what I don't understand. Like he says, they're little things inside your blood, but does that mean we could have a whole Star Wars story based on midichlorians?
That's why I'm saying, like, if it's in your blood, transfusions, things like that, it's basically like, now, don't mean to sound bad when I say this, but it's a lot like all Jedi have type 1 diabetes. Like,
Oh my God.
think about it though. They're basically doing a little pinprick, and it's just like, get this tested.
Don't eat too much chocolate cake, or you'll need more insulin. The midichlorian insulin.
So yeah,
That's funny.
so that's just midichlorians. Maybe going back to my previous controversy about Lucas is a fantastic storyteller.
Yeah.
We'll change that to most of the time. Most of the time.
You're absolutely right. So anyway, what do you guys think about midichlorians? I mean, is it funny to look back and laugh on, or do you actually did George Lucas rape your childhood because of it? So that's midichlorians.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Stupid.
It's just part of it. Is kind of the way that I view it.
Debunked here on Han Talks First.